Eleanor the Great is the feature directorial debut of Scarlett Johansson from first-time writer Tori Kalman. It stars June Squibb, who was nominated for an Academy Award for her role in Nebraska and appeared in last year's indie hit Thelma. In this one, she's grieving the death of her close friend and goes to New York as a coping mechanism. She ends up in a support group where she meets a journalism student who wants to do a piece on her, and they become close friends, as shown in the trailer and all the descriptions online. What they wisely leave out is the fact that she finds out too late that the support group is for Holocaust survivors, she plays along, and the movie's actually about that lie spiraling out of control. Okay, the concept of somebody pretending to be a Holocaust survivor isn't exactly the most sympathetic one, but the script does a good job of making us understand her choices throughout. And of course, June Squibb's performance helps to make her still likable, even lovable. She's just a sweet old lady who's in over her head. It's a comedy drama and it has a little humor and a lot of emotion. There are a couple of dramatic scenes that could come across as sappy, but there's also a lot that are moving. When June Squibb is at her lowest, you definitely feel for her. It ends on a monologue from her friend that is very well done and leaves us all off with tears in our eyes. This is a step down from Thelma, but it is more emotional than that one, and it's elevated by Squibb's presence. A tender comedy despite its initially questionable concept.
New Line Cinema presents a portrait of 2 decades in the life of a business, the days of a dreamer, and the nights in between. Boogie Nights.
One Battle After Another is the newest from writer and director Paul Thomas Anderson, based on the book Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio as a member of a group of revolutionaries, until a series of events happens and now he's living alone with his girlfriend's teenage daughter. But then his past catches up with him as a government official from that time, played by Sean Penn, has now kidnapped the daughter for reasons I won't spoil, and Leo needs to save her. This is a thriller of one little guy against the very powers that be. DiCaprio is the anti-hero, meaning he's done some illegal things, but the government is actually worse than these people. DiCaprio plays that role well, and Penn's character truly is evil. He's a perfect picture of authoritarianism and corruption, with racism thrown in there for good measure. The idea of an acclaimed director making a movie with this plot description sort of brings up ideas of Darren Aronofsky directing Caught Stealing, how he just felt like making a fun thriller with no deeper aspirations. Yeah, this isn't that. First of all, it doesn't really become a thriller until maybe an hour in. Before that, it's just the story of some revolutionaries against the government. And when the daughter gets kidnapped and it does turn into a thriller, it doesn't really feel that much different than it did before. It's still a character-focused tale of a man against the government. It has more inspired acting and directing than your average thriller, and of course it goes deeper with themes of government corruption that ring probably truer today than when the book was written in 1990, according to Wikipedia. But it's also just a very interesting story with some fun turns and a tone that's ripe with comic relief. It's almost 3 hours long, yet never feels too long or slow, and stays fun and intriguing throughout. It's pure entertainment with Oscar tendencies and a countercultural edge. None of you, may remember that I called PTA's last movie, Licorice Pizza, his best movie since Magnolia. And now it's really just remembered among his filmography as that movie with the uncomfortable relationship between its leads. I haven't seen it since then, so don't ask me whether I've changed my mind on anything. Well, I also think this is his best since Magnolia. Whether that declaration will be seen as ridiculous by the time his next movie comes out is up in the air, although this level of praise from everybody else is promising. Although I will say this high praise about it, unlike Licorice Pizza, I think this might be better than Boogie Nights, although I haven't seen that movie in even longer, so I might be wrong. But for now it feels like the better movie, but not better than Magnolia. Either way, this is my new favorite of the year. It's another great movie from Paul Thomas Anderson, an Oscar-caliber movie that still never fails to be a crowd pleaser.